Good afternoon. My name is Anil Lewis. I'm the Director of Strategic Communications for the National Federation of the Blind, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to the 2012 National Forum on Disability Issues. Before I get really started, I just want to get everyone, we should give a great round of applause for Dr. J.W. Smith for the wonderful vocal entertainment. I taught him everything he knows about singing. Okay, not so true. I also want to thank all of our sponsors. Without their financial contribution, none of this would be possible. And their financial contributions are a validation of why we're here. They think it's worth the sweat equity and the money and the resources to make sure this happens, and I agree with them. I also want to thank Bob Dole and Tony Coelho for penning such a wonderful article in Politico that kind of defines our purpose and why we're here. I've been told that there's 500 people plus in this room, and you all look beautiful. I've also been told that there's over 2,000 sites that are listening to this through a live stream over the internet, and that's powerful. That's powerful. That's a powerful testimony to what we're doing and trying to accomplish here. Yeah, please applaud. 2,000 sites? That's awesome. And I can't help but think Justin Dart in heaven looking down, and he's so very proud of all of us, and I can hear him. You hear him? He's saying, lead on, lead on. And through the Justice for All Network, now the National Disability Leadership Alliance, the authentic voice of people with disabilities, all of the friends and family members that are here and the service providers, this is just a wonderful consensus of people that are committed to the lives of people with disabilities in a way that's going to speak out proudly and loudly with one voice, that nothing shall be done about us without us. And that's right. You know, we have to have that voice, because if we don't speak up for our population, who's going to know that My Medicaid matters? If we're not the ones that are out there talking about the resources that are being used, how are people going to know that it's less expensive and provides a greater quality of life when the money follows the person? You know, don't get it twisted. People with disabilities are not the sole beneficiaries of the public goodwill. There are other individuals that capitalize on the fact that we are fully participating citizens in this America. There's a friend of mine in Atlanta. He was sitting around talking. He uses a wheelchair. We were just talking one day, and he says, you know, I don't mind going to a public library that my tax dollars support and providing the accommodation of a chair to those people who don't have their own. I thought that was powerful. And then I, in turn, said, you know what? Then I shouldn't mind going to a public library that my tax dollars help to support, and I don't have any animosity toward those sighted individuals who need that accommodation of printed material and book after book on the shelves. I just want people to understand that if we're not upset with providing them with accommodations, then why would they be upset with providing accommodations for my friend to have a no-step entrance into that public library, a wide enough door for him to travel through? If we're not upset with them having the accessible books in the library, why should they be upset with me wanting the information, access to all that information in a format that's accessible to me, either Braille or a digital format that makes it better for everybody? You know, because that's what it's about, right? Universal access. You know, if we make a world that's universally accessible to everyone, then we'll be able to recognize the full potential of every American citizen. And that's what it's about, access. Because if you give us access, we will demonstrate our capacity. Better believe that. Absolutely, without a doubt, we're going to demonstrate our capacity in a way that lets everyone know that we have value. We've already done it. We've demonstrated our capacity by hosting this wonderful event, you know? And we're developing relationships with members of Congress in a way that makes sure that our voices are heard when the policies are made that affect everyone in this nation. But we have better, greater capacity than that. We don't just have the capacity to build relationships with members of Congress. We have the capacity to be members of Congress. And that's why today I'm announcing to all of you, it is my intention, wait for it, were you as excited about that? I mean, it's going to happen. That's the natural evolution of what we're doing. People with disabilities running for Congress. Look for me in 2014. And as we become members of Congress, what better way to exercise our true participation, our full participation, show that we're responsible participating members, than sitting right beside those members of Congress, working shoulder to shoulder, not just walking through the halls, but actually being in the chamber of Congress where this happens. Because if we don't do that, if we don't step up to that next level of evolution of what we're doing, we will always be subjected to the ignorance that results in low expectations, masked as compassion, that robs us of our true viable future as fully participating members in this experiment called America. And I'm not ready to stand for that. and I hope that you're not either. I hope that you want to work with me to make sure that we, as people with disabilities, our family, our friends, step up to a new reality so that we can be those fully participating citizens. And if we do, if we step up and own that challenge, then we, moving forward together, can someday look back and say that America that we were talking about, that wonderful America of full participation, acknowledgement of the capacity of people with disabilities, we'll say we built that, and we'll be proud of what we built. And it'll be a better America because we're fully participating in it. Thank you. God bless you. I love you. The next person on the microphone, this wouldn't happen without a wonderful planning committee. And leaders emerge in the planning committee. This young lady here was the leader of the planning committee. So I welcome Sue Hetrick and her son, Micah. Thank you. Got it?
Thank you, Anil.
My pleasure. Good to see you. My pleasure. Thank you. God bless you.
Micah, you're over here.
I'm Micah Hetrick,
And I'm Sue Hetrick.
and Governor Hetrick could not be here in this afternoon.
But representing Governor Kasich, even though he couldn't be here, is John Martin, the Director of the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities.